So we're going to have an additional call here with the legendary Andy the Bankster. That being Andrew D. Lansley of Wells Fargo fame. So I just did that out of my head because everybody that's important to me is in my head. I have that.
You've reached the voicemail of Andrew Lansley. Please leave your name and number. The voicemail of Andrew.
It's going to be Ron, the legendary, ran off and hid mortgage agency owner, whom we love very much, but it's a disgrace what happened. Another one didn't want to listen to me. Ron, it's Steve Summers. How you doing?
Steve Summers, how are you?
Hey, I got a check for you, and it's a no, no strings attached check if you want it. It's $5,000, okay? But if you want the strings attached version, I got one for you for $100. Plus, I'll pay Andy every dime that he ever claims that he might want to someday ask you for. So hey, no. Let me get right to it. Okay, I'm running a publicly traded fund right now. Okay, you've known from a very long time that I'm a genius. I'm just insane, right? Is that a fair statement?
Right.
There's a fair statement. Okay, but everything I ever and look, you guys were the best, but everything I tried warning you of after 2010 came true. I warned you that the digital mortgage revolution would kill the brick and mortar mortgage company. And just as I warned you about that, and Uber killed the taxi cab companies, digital trucking is killing the brick and mortar trucking companies. Okay? It is. It's the facts of it. And there's just listen, what I want you is over at the financial group side. I don't want you anywhere near the trucks. I want you involved with my 20-somethings that I'm training how to run the financial side. Now, I have a very, very good opportunity here. I have all the investors rounded up from a publicly traded company that are very unhappy with the leadership. These are all North Shore millionaires. They're all dear Jewish people, very strong people. Wayne is going to get a part of it. His family's to get a part of it. I don't want to come to Northern Peninsula, Michigan looking for you. I haven't be able to find you for 7 years. This is not an Easter egg hunt. So here's what I would rather do. I'd rather just give your sons the ownership and give your sons the blessing and give your sons the opportunity, because I know you won't lie to them or mislead them getting rich. I know you won't be that stupid. Okay? You can mislead me all fucking day long. I don't care. Okay? And by the way, the TV pastor, the crook-ass TV pastor, the head of everything California, he shot everybody dead Christmas of 17. Okay, this is the guy that was on TV, John Alexander Mendoza, the guy I went to war with all them years. A million got cancer, a million got brain cancer. They took a tennis ball-sized tumor out of his head. There's no more a million, okay? So look, you're not getting no younger. I'm not getting no younger. Andy's not getting no nicer, and the world's not getting no easier. So here's the deal. I got a $100 check for you, or I got a $5 check for you. You could have either one. Free. But if I give you the 100 grand, I need you in a 1-year contract, because I can collect almost a little less than $500,000 here in the next 60 days in cash. Now, this is not going to be a repeat of the problem people that I've had. And it cannot be. So, are you still in Chicago? Are you still in the Chicago area? Because I want to go back to California. I got stuff there. I got people there. I got $4.1 million of Taiwanese check writers that want to be U.S. citizens, that are writing checks to get the fuck off the island and buy U.S. assets. And I happen to want to direct that, because I've been very good to those people. I didn't even know who those people were. I picked up some little lady was lost in Santa Ana, and I drove her to her little place in Westminster, her and her dog. And I had no idea who the heck these people were in 2010. All they knew is I was with Calvary Chapel, and that's why they came up to me. Oh, Calvary Chapel van, you take us somewhere, please. Yes, get in. Why not? Okay, the woman is Fing Bing Bing's grandmother. Okay, this is like the president of Taiwan. All right, so look, you just need to get in, or I love you and I'll send you some lettuce. But having you not on the paperwork, I'm talking having you in the submarine. No one knows you're in the boat. No one even knows the submarine is here. That's why it's a submarine. Now look, you've got more experience in your foot than my 20-somethings got in 20 of their bodies. But they have youth, they have drive, they have vigor, they have never-ending energy, and you know you cannot stop young men between 17 and 24. Plus, I'm ganking a 23-year-old out of the Bank One there. Or, I'm sorry, not the bank, the Chase Bank. It used to be Bank One. The whatever the fuck it is bank at 151st and LaGrange. All right. So I've already got 9 people between 22 and 26 that are all beasts. Okay. What are your 2 sons doing now? What do they do?
One's working for an EPA company, the other financial department.
Okay, so they are making good money, but they're in the interim, they're in entry-level things?
Yep.
So, but if they owned residuals and something else, they wouldn't be opposed to it, and you wouldn't be opposed to overseeing it, would you? Because, see, if it's owned in their name, Andy can't put no claims on it.
Right.
Now, I'll still take care of Andy if he quits being the Easter Bunny he is. Because he's the one that never wanted to see me hold office again. Okay? All right? And that's how I feel about it. Now, he can keep up that shit. I'm going to remind him of TV pastor, legendary Mario DiBella, who's 36 years old, in a wheelchair and dying right now and not going to survive the month. And I went to see him many times to ask him to quit stealing from God and quit being evil with the Lord's work and evil in the church. And he wouldn't listen. He laughed in my face. And the Lord struck him down. Okay? So I'm ministering with real people in real ministry, and this is how we're funding it. Now, we have a genius, 10 times smarter than me, running loose in the south suburbs named Silly Billy. Now, listen to me, I don't have the whatever to put up with him, but you would. You have the chemistry. If you can put him on a leash and keep this animal on a leash, he's almost 60 years old. He smokes 5 packs a day. He's not going to live much longer. But he's such a head case for me to deal with. But he's a genius. And he has the final elements I need to make this a 5-factor. Now, can we do that? Can you and I make a deal? Can you come? Because I'll give you every NDA agreement or secret agreement. Look, fuck. If people ask me if I've never seen the guy. I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell people you live at the North Pole, all right? But I want your help because you didn't put all the money and all the effort into helping me 05, 06, 07 to lose. And you lost because of my evil first wife, them stealing my daughter, my insane family, my sick mother who was truly not a good person and not well, and she's still not well at all. But she's a millionaire, practically. Okay? And she has spent $75,000 to put this new thing together. Okay? And she's very sick, and she lives in a retirement place now. And I've got bad grown kids that I have to look after, okay? So are you still in Orland Park?
Yep.
You still in the same house?
Same house.
Same house.
Same house.
You've got to be kidding me. You're in the same house.
Same house.
The one right off 143rd.
Yep.
Next to where my aunt used to live. Subdivision over, where they bulldozed the farm and built the big hizzies.
Yeah.
All right, look, what would you need to make a week or a month for you to put 10 hours a week and be responsible to a publicly traded company's board? In other words, here, listen, do you want to hear what's going to happen? Because I'd like to tell it to you since I already got you here. Do you understand this? Well, I'll give you the stock symbol too. In 2017, I met a guy named Kevin Eck. He was partnered with Paul Sorkin and Steve St. Louis in running a publicly traded company called Alliance Creative Group, stock symbol ACGX. And when you look up this stock, you're going to see that things started to go through the roof in May. And the only time of May of 17, and the only time this pig pen was worth anything was from May of 17 till February, March of 18. Do you want to ask or guess who the real creative genius was, who was running the boat their day to day was? Why don't you guess? Why don't you guess? There's only two. Yeah, there you go. And I got the whole thing on tape. I got everyone says that I'm the genius, which I am. So here's what happened. In August of 17, I'm at a meeting, and Kevin Eck's brother is Sean Eck of Merrill Lynch. Do you understand that? And these people live on the Gold Coast, and they all live in big hizzies in Lincoln Park and the Gold Coast and these kind of places. And they all got trillions of dollars, and they all party, and we're all roughly the same age. So here's what happened. Paul and Steve St. Louis are the official heads of this company, and there's an imaginary fake board. But none of these people know anything of what they're doing. So they turn it over to Kevin. Kevin is a shyster. Kevin says that he's going to develop some products to make the company more profitable so the stock price goes up. And then he meets me, and I'm developing real products. And so what happens is there's this plan that we were going to move the products in, and then Kevin's brother was going to put together some investors quietly. And then we were going to yank all the products out and crash the stock price. Are you listening to me? Okay, have you ever heard of things like this happening before? I know you have. So I wouldn't go along with it for two reasons. One, well, anyway, I didn't go along with it. So they said to me, well, Steve, look, we're going to move $5-6 million worth of earnings into a company that's not making much money right now. That's going to move the stock price value of $12-13 million. You would agree that a company's stock can be comfortably 2 to 3 times its earnings, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. At this point, the stock, the total value was like at 1.8 million at this point. By the way, today it's at 300,000. So the plan was that we'd lower the stock price more, and then everybody stole the company. And then they were going to give me some Domino's pizza tip money and maybe a free pair of shoes and 2 movie tickets to the homeless shelter and tell me to go fuck off.
Yeah.
And I simply explained to them, did they want to be on the bottom of Lake Michigan, or did they want to be in their boat, chained to the boat that would be on the bottom of Lake Michigan? Which option would work best for them? Because look, my days of putting up with the church, that's all the fuck over with. Okay? This is like 1995 Steve Summers again. So I want to make that real clear coming in the door. I'm still a great person, but I'm not putting up with nothing. Okay? I've had 2 cancer scares, and I may have a third. And honestly, so let's keep going. So the bottom line is Kevin and I and the whole relationship broke up in February of 18. And then in March of 18, Kevin yanks all the products out of ACGX and crashes the stock price anyway. You listen to me?
Yep.
And then the war is on from there. Now, since then, Kevin has been involved with 5 publicly traded, or 5 companies. Now he's on to his 5th one he owns by himself. So the bottom line is, look, you're a good guy. You know, as people are getting older, it's harder to do this. Do a good thing for yourself. Do your kids have any kids yet?
No.
Okay, well, that'll be coming along hopefully soon. So, why don't we make nice? Let me introduce you to some serious check writers. Everyone's going to forget everyone's past. I'm willing to give Andy $300,000-400,000 to have him back in the boat and be a good Andy. Just be a nice. Have I did talk to the I don't want to use any language here because I'm on the company recorded phone. So, but you know I have some favorite colortive words. Several, yes. You've heard my language. Yeah, I have several favorite.
Call this number tomorrow. Call me in the morning.
Yeah, I'm just look. Leave Andy out of the fucking mix.
Surgery this morning. My septum, my deviated septum stage.
Oh, okay.
So I'm on drugs, so I'm only paying attention to half what you're telling me because of the drugs.
Right.
So call me tomorrow after 9:30.
Ron, I'm going to do that for you, but I want you, within a few weeks of getting well, I want you to come meet some of the check writers. I've already told them that I'm going to have some phenomenal brain trust people for the brains department, and I'm going to have some phenomenal young people to run the boat, and the 2 will be separate, okay? And I'll do that. I will call you tomorrow like after 10, okay?
Call me tomorrow.
I will, and I hope you feel better, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye, bye-bye, bye. So, as soon as he heard the recorded line, he's, because I don't know how much he owes, but here's the story. He owned RMC Mortgage. He's got college degrees up the wall. He's in his 60s now. He and Andy were great friends in the first publicly traded attempt in 2004 and on 2005. But things went very bad 05, 06, and terrible in 07. And in 2008, everybody was destroyed financially in everything that happened. By this point, Andy owned part of Amcor Bank. It was Amcor Bank, RMC Mortgage, and Celtic Transportation all in the same building. Now, I've got Celtic in mind to do the actual retail account here in Chicago, and not KKW out of Pomona, California. But KKW Pomona is what I'm thinking of for LA. So Amcor Bank dissolved. Andy lost millions. Andy was able to keep Ron in some money, and keep RMC Mortgage open. They even owned the building. They owned the building there in the office condo, and they were even had the leverage on the land that became that entire subdivision on the northeast corner of 143rd and LaGrange Road, which is worth millions. They had that plus where the University of Chicago built that whole new. There's $1 billion worth of real estate been built in that area, okay? And they lost all of this, okay? All of it. So we all know my story. I went to work in California with Calvary Chapel, and these guys went to work stonewalling me, 11 and 12, and especially 13. And I warned them that the digital mortgage product was not going to be taken lightly. It was going to bankrupt and get rid of all the brick and mortar little mortgage places, and it did. So they had the opportunity, 12, 13, and 14, to change the world with me. They refused to do it. What I didn't know is that Ron was steadily acquiring much more debt, borrowing much more, hundreds of thousands from Andy. I don't know what total amount Andy wants, but basically, when Greg got sick or Greg was injured and died in May of 15, I left to go to Louisiana to care for Greg and look after Greg, and we know Greg passed away June, and I had come back June of 15, and I find a foreclosure sign on the front lawn of the building. The mortgage building has been foreclosed. Ron has disappeared. I never see him again. I never see him at the Hizzy, at his house. Everyone tells me no one can find him. He's ran off to the Upper Peninsula. And I love this. Ralph Millman's history. Ralph Millman saying he's in the pharmaceutical business. Hey, Ralph's brother was in the pharmaceutical business. Coke is it, okay? And it's sad, but Ralph's brother was found in the trunk of a car at the airport is what I was told. And there has been talk of Ralph's friends and Ralph's flower businesses still being in the pharmaceutical business. And back to this. So Ron is said to have developed a gambling problem, a drug problem, several other problems, which at that age, he was in his 50s at the time this whole thing fell apart. Now he's in his 60s. But he has a vast knowledge of things, and he can be the guy running things day to day. As long as he doesn't have any control of the money. But see, Robert, and this is for Robert Keller, there's another side of this you have no idea how much value is in. The trucks are just to get the door open to other things. So, technology, the California Green Funds, several other things I want to do. When you study Cardone, you'll realize that this was the training and example I got from age 20 through 25. You see the great things Grant has done. These were things Grant announced and shared with all of us that he was going to do in the 90s. And he started doing them then, even, with the money he was making from the automobile industry and the seminars, which was over $1 million a year in 94. So